Walked into this place and auditioned uninvited. And it's this big fancy club out there, and just big-eared kids. We didn't know. We walked in, hey, let's play here. So we just started playing in this lobby of this place. And the fella who owned it came out and said, why don't you do that on stage? We said, okay. We thought that's just the way it works, you know. So we went up there, and Andy Griffith's agent happened to be there, and a record label called Elektra Records. And we signed with Elektra, made arrangements to sign with Elektra that night, and signed with William Morris, that agent. You know, he came up to me, country kid like I was, I didn't know how to talk then. He says, I'm from William Morris, and we'd like to sign you. And I said, well, tell Bill Hay. And he says, you know, you don't understand. So we did. They put a little blurb in the paper, and we went over to the Andy Griffith studio, which I believe at the time was called Gulf Western or something. I think it was, yeah. Desilu. And we walked in, and they were filming an episode where Don Knotts was trying to find out who was singing off in the choir. Remember that one? That never happens to you folks, does it? And they stopped filming, brought us in. They came in, sat down about this far away. They had their arms folded just like that, looking at us. We were scared to death. You know, you fold your arms, okay. And Andy said, show us what you got. We started picking. He slapped his knees and got up. Said, that's it. And I looked at my brother and I said, Douglas, they're throwing us out. And that's about the way he reacted that day. And we started, he said, where you going? You got the job. We did one episode, and I guess it hit so well, the way they put it together, that we continue to do it. So that's the boring story of how we are here today. And it was all, I know it was all Providence, and we're here for a reason. This is a song we wrote about what it's like when you leave home, and you come back years later and everything looks smaller. That ever happened? Everybody's experienced that, right? Well, it's a lot further to the outhouse when I was young than it is now. And it's called The Old Home Place. It's been 10 long years since I left my home in the hollow where I was born. Where the cool fall nights made the wood smoke bright, and the foxhunter blew his horn. I fell in love with a girl in the town. I thought that she would be true. I went away to Charlottesville to work in a sawmill crew. What have they done with the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave the plow in the field and look for a job in the town? The tavern took my pay, and now I stand where the old home stood before they took it away. Now the geese fly south and the wind grows cold as I stand here and hang my head. I've lost my love, I've lost my home, and now I wish that I were dead. What have they done with the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave the plow in the field and look for a job in the town? Plow in the field and look for a job in the town. Well, we used to sit around. Most of the songs that we do are songs that we wrote about the Andy Griffith Show, or while we just sitting around, because you have a lot of time on your hands there, because they shot it like a movie with one camera on it. And we were sitting there one day, and Douglas was tuning his banjo, which he does most of the time anyway. It's a nervous habit. So he tunes it, you know. Some people pick their nose, but fortunately, he picks the banjo. And he was noodling around on the tune one day, and Andy said, "What's that?" Douglas looked him in the eye and said, "I don't know." And he said, "Why don't we call it Doug's tune?" And we did. And as soon as I get a drink of water here, we're going to play it for you.
It was also called Slimy River Bottom at one time, which made Charlene cry.